Yo, what's up, everybody? Lobo here with Danmalore and YoJimbo. What's up, guys?
What's up, Lobo?
Yeah, not a good week for Star Wars video games, huh?
Oh yeah, even more layoffs, right?
Respawn canceled their Mandalorian first-person shooter.
Oh man,
So
there's some upheaval going on right now. What's going on?
EA apparently was afraid that they can't sell a Star Wars game unless it's got Jedi and lightsaber in it.
Got it. Even though Mando's a very hot, they're like their hottest property.
Even though Mandalorian is the hottest property, because it wasn't Din. Apparently, the game wasn't about Din. It was about just a
Mandalorian.
The player character could create their own Mando basically, and they had a home base and could pick their weapon loadouts and then pick which bounty they were going to go after. And now, unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Dang. So I know it's like boom, first thing, but I used to work at Respawn. That's a company I hold dear. And it sucks to see them lose the Star Wars project.
Yep.
But it's gonna happen, and if it's gonna happen, I got my Titanfall mug going on today. So
I heard there's one game that's surviving the cuts, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, the Ubisoft game. I mean, it's Ubisoft.
Yeah, the open.
They're doing that.
One. So
that's still going because that's Ubisoft. EA can't cancel an Ubisoft.
There's no Jedi in it, right?
But EA can't cancel that one. The other game that Respawn makes, the Jedi Fallen Order series or Star Wars Jedi : whatever, that's still happening. They're still working on part 3 of that, and apparently oh god, what's that game? Where you send squads? What are those called?
The RTS
shooters.
Yes, the RTS
real
game.
time. Yeah,
that's allegedly
real-time
still being worked on, but no one's got official word. But it hasn't officially been canceled either. So.
Is that the one where you send little vehicles and troopers?
Yeah, like Dawn of War and Company of Heroes. 2 other.
Wasn't there like one before Empire at War or something like that? Yeah,
there was an Empire at War game.
Like, is it like that, or is it decent, more zoomed in? Is it like
I don't know. It doesn't. No one's got any info on it. It's kind of a phantom game.
So once again, Mandalorian games continue to be like completely cursed.
Yeah, because of publishers being afraid that they can't sell a shooter in the Star Wars universe because it needs to have a lightsaber. It's like, no. Just make it so you kill like the player doesn't need a lightsaber. Give them a mission where they kill someone who has a lightsaber. Then you got your lightsaber going on. That problem solved. Player doesn't need to use it because first-person lightsaber action sucks. Like, it looks cool in third person, but not first. It's like, I mean, you guys have played Skyrim. You know how sword fights up close look.
I was thinking actually Jedi Academy. Back in the Jedi Academy was pretty fun, but that was like decades ago.
I've also played a lot of Mount and Blade, so I think like there is control systems that work for good sword play.
It can be done.
Play?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've even played like Chivalry and what's the other one?
Yeah, but is that just Blade? Because
there is ones that are like just blades and like
because there's no
weaponry though.
Yeah, but there's like no. Star Wars generally doesn't have shields.
Nope.
I mean, at least a Jedi doesn't use a shield, but. It's
yeah, don't tell that to Jar Jar about like no shields. Their entire thing was like having shields.
That was and the Mandalorians have that bracer shield, but it's not common. It just I don't know. And it's not something an edit can fix. Also, maybe after this third Jedi game comes out, then they could work on another game. Who knows?
I mean, not just Star Wars games too. It's industry wide, from what I hear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's that time of year. Normally there's layoffs.
Sony laid off
Yeah,
huge,
but
huge
normally
Sony
the
layoffs.
layoffs right before, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a lot of layoffs. That didn't
Merry
happen
Christmas.
this year.
Get a new job.
It was just like 2 months later. Yeah, pretty much. Because everybody who's got something in development wants it to come out at the holidays.
You got to be.
So why are they keep a skeleton crew on for patching, maybe for DLC, but it's it's never a full crew at every level, development, quality assurance, whatever. But yeah. So, but the other games are all still coming out as far as we know. Well, maybe not all of them. There's that game that I don't know, the one that had that big epic trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what game that was. It was like set some other timeline. I don't know. Looked cool, but that's very unrealistic. They got to stop. Yeah, it was a Star Wars game pitch. Like it was a trailer pitch. It wasn't a.
Is that the remake
for any kind of proof of concept?
KOTOR, the KOTOR remake that was canceled a long time ago.
that's been canceled and uncanceled. I think 4 times now. So who knows?
It's definitely dead now.
It's definitely canceled now. And there you go again. Like even touching KOTOR 2, it's the Curse of the Mandalorians.
Yeah. You would think like a remake would be, or a remaster or whatever would be easy.
That's the thing. They need to stop with the. They need to stop with the remasters. The way that all these companies that are doing remasters, stop it with just upgrading your graphics from the original.
That reminds me, I need to get Battlefront when it's still on sale.
Build the games, build the same game on the new engines. That's what we want. We don't want clunky old stuff. We want the same old story, the same presentation, but with new hotness, not old and clunky.
Totally. It's like Hollywood, same thing, kind of out of ideas. So just remake everything.
Oh yeah, you missed out when we saw Dune the other day. That you missed out on some. Why are they making this
bad trailers?
Yeah. No. Just stop it.
The only one I saw that I liked was Furiosa.
I also thought,
but that's at least a new.
Civil War is hilarious to me.
I've seen that trailer.
It's good. Come on, man. A24 Civil War.
But California and Texas on the same side.
Yeah, that's the part that's far fetched.
You don't know that they're on the same side.
That's true. They both
say that the trailer.
They might be fighting each other.
Like, no, they're it says something about a coalition,
the Western states.
Yeah. I just
that's hilarious. Okay, I just got Battlefront pre-order. Well, it's still on sale.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Good.
Yeah, I just did it.
I saw the dude over there on the Star Wars Explained channel was doing up for his birthday. He was doing a playthrough of the beginning of the Dark Forces remaster, and it looks just like a clean version of the old game. Still clunky.
It looks really clean to be. I saw a whole. I think I sent it to Jim, like a review on Digital Foundry, and it's more than your average remaster, but it still has that old look. It's like a halfway between.
Yeah.
One of the disappointing things was it doesn't have the Roland sound canvas or the super high-end MIDI from the era. There's like regular general MIDI, and then there was like another level if you had the professional gear.
Yeah.
Hi, Kate.
Like with actual sound banks, like actual memory sound banks that could hold a bunch of
real instruments.
Also different, there was like different logic too, like different chipsets.
Yeah,
different
next level. It was like playing with like movie sound or something, or at least as good as MIDI could get. But they couldn't have access to the original code for it, so they have an emulation running the general MIDI, which is okay. It sounds okay. It's not terrible, but they were kind of disappointed. Like, dang, you had this opportunity to use the Roland 3.2 something actual, because now you can emulate that in godlike quality with modern computers. But anyways, the graphics are still kind of old school. Yeah, I don't know if I'll pick that one up. I liked Dark Forces back in the day. I don't know if I could play through the Doom style
I'm
game at this point.
I'm just gonna wait till it's on like super dirt cheap
Yeah.
sale. I mean, I still have functional copies of it, so I don't need to buy it
Yeah.
yet.
Even
again.
Battlefront, you were saying, Lobo, that is kind of looks too janky for you. They didn't smooth it out a little bit.
I mean, it's
I'm more
not,
for gameplay. I know the graphics are not going to be as good. It's
yeah,
like
no,
Xbox One.
I'm afraid it's like one of those things like GTA with AI assisted.
yeah,
Yeah, they
that
didn't even do that.
that GTA remake was just so disappointing.
Mhm.
And now that there's a Tomb Raider remake coming out and it looks still the same thing. It's just
The Tomb Raider one does look pretty good. There are mods that look better though. That's the thing.
But if
So
that Tomb Raider remake was built on the engine that the new Tomb Raider games have,
Mhm.
oh my god, it would be so amazing. But
yeah, that would be a full
you know,
remake.
yeah,
I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that.
that's what these remasters should be. They should be remakes, no more remasters. You want to charge us full price for a game? Build a new game.
Mhm.
I kind of agree. I would like a toggle.
The gameplay is that's asking for too much graphics, too much data. You want all that data, all that hard space on your console to be old, 16-bit graphics.
Some people,
I don't want that.
What they're going for, some people get the old. They want the old look. They want the nostalgia.
And buy the old game. They're still there. You could still buy Tomb Raider Legendary Edition, the bundle.
On
it runs on Xbox Series X. I don't know if it runs on PS5.
How about this?
But
they include the old version with your. That'd be
cool.
give
you a code. Give you a code to download the old game. Yeah. Then it's optional.
Yeah. Well, we don't have much.
And it's an extra bonus achievement set or trophy set depending on the platform. Yeah, it's good. It's good. So, but yeah, it's just So, that's the only Star Wars news that I have this week. I don't know
on that front.
It's been there is, before we get into the episode, there is one other thing. Starting, I think it was April. Kate's in the chat. She might be able to tell me what the date was. Starting in April, they are adding new scenes to Star Tours. Yes. From I think it's Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and I don't know if Andor's. I don't think it's Andor.
I'm gonna guess Purgles.
We're all going to jail in Andor.
Yeah, one way out.
Right. It's yeah. I don't. So when they do that, so Disneyland's doing an After Dark thing starting around that same time, and they're going to be the new content's going to be live for that. The After Dark Star Wars thing runs well, I mean, now I'm advertising for Disneyland. It's going to be there. It's me going on. I'm going to be there on the 2nd of May. It's going to be.
There you go, folks.
It's going to be great.
Meet Lobo in real life.
Yeah, it's going to be. And they're doing Hyperspace Mountain too during that period of time. At least that's what I've heard. I didn't.
I think it was.
I heard Star Wars Obsession talking about it yesterday, but not. I don't have a concrete. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, Hyperspace Mountain was fun.
It is.
I actually did that instead of Star Tours. Kind of decided between the two.
That's blasphemy. Blasphemy. There's no instead of Star Tours.
Yeah,
and you have to do Star Wars last time. All of them.
But they hadn't added the new stuff. It'll be worth it once they do.
Yeah, I was at Disneyland last week. I got all new content on Star Tours yet again.
Yeah, I like how they randomize that. That's cool.
And it was Poe Dameron this time, or as I like to call him, Poe de Moron. And yeah,
hey, he didn't write his own character. Let's not.
No, I know.
I
know. He didn't name himself either. He plays the character that he plays. Nothing against the actor.
I mean, you can talk about the writing for sure.
I mean,
as far as egregious Star Wars names, that one's like not that bad.
True.
Let's look
Sure.
let's look at some George Lucas names. They might even be worse than like the toy names.
Like Shaggy,
Shiggy, yes.
which is from
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's Getty Tartakovsky.
but there's
Um,
some other bad ones too.
Yeah.
JJ Abrams ones. What's the Beastie Boys one?
That's right.
Yeah.
all right. Well, I guess let's get into the Bad Batch. What do you say?
Let's do it. I was just
All
looking
right.
at our stream.
Okay,
on-
otherwise I'm just gonna keep on
my
thinking
phone.
of like bad names.
Poorly named there's
Niemnum?
shit.
Isn't that like one of the like
Oh yeah.
pilots?
Oh
I
yeah.
like Neon
Ne-
Numb.
Nian yeah, he's on the what do you call it? The Rise of the Resistance
Mhm.
Rise of the ride at Disneyland.
Slow and
Neon
Low.
Numb
I was just
is-
looking up one of the
is-
characters. Slow and Low. It's Beastie
he's
Boys
there.
reference.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
There's a lot of them actually.
Elon
So-
Sleaze Bagano.
Elo Asti. Elo Asti.
Yeah,
Asti.
Elon Sleazebagano that is a pretty good one. So yeah.
The
so we got-
Return.
The Return. So
Mhm.
before the episode came out, The Return, people were like, are we gonna get Asajj Ventress? No. No,
yeah,
I'm
I'm still
sorry.
waiting for that episode.
No Ventress. I've
Mhm.
heard she's not gonna be in it till around episode 8.
Got it. So
ma-
halfway.
maybe
the
next
season-
week.
Mid-season.
right?
We got to go back to that planet. What's it called?
Yeah, so Pabu. We're back on
Mhm.
Pabu.
Didn't
the-
see my recruits, my boys.
Yeah, the recruits weren't in this episode.
Nope.
Fee wasn't in this episode either. I was really expecting to see Fee.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I felt like there was something. I was like, oh, she's gonna come out.
Right?
And then she didn't. So
Nope.
maybe they couldn't hire her for this season. I hope they can.
No, she's in it. She's definitely in it. She's in
Okay.
one of the trailer scenes. So yeah, but so they wake up on hold on. I skipped my screenshot I wanted. Whoops.
I think it starts out with the training scene.
No, not fully. They start out with
Oh, they
waking
Mhm.
up on the ship,
Omega wakes up.
and then we get I think this is Kate's favorite Star Wars location, the island paradise.
Mhm.
Something bad's gonna happen to it. I mean, it already did, but even worse
Again.
Right.
when the Empire
Yeah.
finds it.
So yeah, but before that shot though, Omega wakes up and they're like, "How was your sleep?" It's like the best sleep I ever had. So it's kind of funny.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Understandable.
so we do go back out, and then there's Crosshair doing target practice on the beach with that floaty robot. It was the AZ or something like that.
Mhm.
And Batcher's on the beach chasing around little creatures. For a second I was like, no, did they make this freaking dog already have puppies? What's going on? But no, they're total different species. And
I mean, who knows with
Crosshair-
an alien, but
right
you just pop them out like a gremlin.
Mhm.
all right, so Crosshair is dealing with some kind of handshaking issue.
Uh-huh.
And
Is it the
AZ
same
said
hand
that
where they were drawing the blood out?
possibly?
So there's been talk on, I don't know if we mentioned this last week, that also Hemlock also has like a hand thing,
Yes.
like in scenes that they're like, was he like experimenting on himself too? Like, is he trying to make himself immortal as part of this? That like that the hand thing is like a hint about experimentation on himself? I don't know. Just
I
throwing
don't.
it out.
Maybe at some point he lost a hand and he cloned a hand to put back, and it's like not really his hand. I don't know. That's just my theory.
There's something going on with the hand. They keep hinting at it. So I wonder if they're going to reveal something about that later on.
Right.
So there's no chance it's just PTSD.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be.
Why would Hemlock have it?
No, I meant for crosshairs though. Specifically.
Yeah,
It definitely could.
it's
have a,
it's possible.
Wouldn't be
I
surprised.
mean, his entire way of like functioning and his utility is his ability to shoot. So when he compromises it, he loses that.
Yeah, like his skill is the trick shot. He can hit anything from anywhere, and he's only shooting at 53%. So he's gotta shape up. So on the note of, you say something's bad, you said something bad is going to happen to this planet, and they kind of give a little spook. So there's Hunter's tripping out, and there's a little teeny tiny ship up there. He almost looks worried in this shot, but
and as expected, they're not comfortable with Crosshair so much right now.
no, yeah, they're not. They don't fully trust him. Yeah, that actually, I kind of skipped over that. Before that ship comes into orbit or into the atmosphere, Hunter says to Wrecker, should we have given him his guns back? And Wrecker was like, hey, Omega trusts him, I trust him. So it's really more Hunter. I think Wrecker's just a big old teddy bear. So,
I mean,
Wrecker's happy to have his brother back. Hunter's the more apprehensive one.
If giving him back his rifle was a bad idea, they'd already be dead. Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, maybe they're concerned that he's just there to spy on them to find out the greater rebellion, or that could be a bigger like him turning on them. They already don't trust him, but kind of spying for the Empire would be even worse, right? If they blow the cover of the entire rebellion at this point.
They don't seem to be treating him like they think he's compromised, though.
No,
because they're just giving him like enough trust.
Yeah, Hunter is hesitant,
but not hesitant enough to not let him have guns.
Yeah, exactly. So we get Echo landing now, right?
Yeah. So we get Echo.
Turns out the return was not what you think it was.
Yep.
The Echo action figure kind of looks like a Borg from Star Trek.
He is very Borgish, but
he's even got the little pinchy.
Yeah. He doesn't have the thing over his eye though. He's just got the.
Yeah. Did he ever have anything over his eye? I guess not.
No, Crosshair is the only one with that weird eye thing. But Borg, at least I'm thinking of Picard when he was a Borg. He had the eye thing. So
a lot of them do.
Yeah.
So they're still on this this planet. They're just kind of hanging out, discussing what to do. Oh, there's that. Hold on a sec. Wrecker is the food guy, and he has got a decent plate of sushi right there. There's some rolls. There's a couple of nigiri styles. It's good to know that there's sushi in Star Wars
on a water planet. They probably got some really good stuff.
Well, they got to. I think they need to. Disney theme parks needs to take this into consideration and maybe throw a sushi spot into Galaxy's
They don't
Edge,
have one. Wow,
not at Galaxy's Edge, and I don't think there's a sushi spot in either one of the California parks. Even though there's that. Kate, you're in the YouTube chat there still. It looks like is there a sushi bar at Disney California Adventure? I don't know.
That seems like a missed opportunity.
But that is. But could you imagine?
At least in California Adventure,
it would be. Could you imagine though how expensive Disneyland sushi would be?
Oh my God! Yeah.
So yeah, she doesn't know either. So we'll have to check next time. Yeah. So Yeah, I want some sushi. Um,
I like the line where, like, you don't. Crosshair says, "You don't trust me," and Echo says, "Well, it depends on how good your intel is."
yeah, it depends on how good your intel is, which is like, it's not a no. It's more playful than anything, which is great.
Mhm.
It's showing Echo,
But also, like, tell us
the
what
most
how-
Borg, the most
give us something to
cyber.
go on.
Yeah, but like Echo's like the most, like, he's a piece of machinery at this point, but that
Mhm.
like, the little dig is kind of like, it shows a little bit of humanity.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, so they discuss the little tablet that Omega used to escape, and they figure out they need to decrypt it in order to get the information off it. And Crosshair's like, well, we just got to plug it into an Imperial console, and it'll decrypt, basically setting up the whole premise of the episode, which is going to a remote planet to use the computer.
One that we've been to before.
Hey, it was
One,
some intel that he could actually provide, though.
yeah, it was good intel that he could provide. And yeah, it's a planet that Crosshair's been to for sure, but not a planet that the rest of the batches have been to.
Kind of a bad
And it's a
backdoor.
planet that Crosshair did a lot of bad things on.
Yeah, where he went through some stuff there.
Yeah,
But it seems like a kind of like a bad security vulnerability there too.
That
It's like,
they just left it running.
as long as you have an Imperial console, you're good. Because I thought they needed those little.
Yeah.
I forget
What kind of
those
operational
pins.
security is this?
oh, those things on their uniforms is for
Yeah.
door. That's
Yeah,
for
the
doors.
Cylinders.
Or it's they're sometimes you have to stick them in a machine to make something work, but they're like
Unlock the doors.
they unlock the doors.
They're for the doors too, but I thought you would have to like a user. It's like your user key.
Yeah, it is. They do have to take them out and stick them into a thing when it's like
It was an Obi-Wan.
classified, like when it's a you need some kind of a signature to do it, like where
I
you
think
need to
Tantus
have.
qualifies. I'm just. I mean, you didn't write the episode. I'm just saying, like, it seems
No, but
like
that tablet
security.
itself is a key,
Mm-hmm.
because the way it worked on Tantus was you put the tablet in the little slot, and then you push some buttons and the door opens or the computer does its thing. So it's basically that tablet connects to the terminal, and you type some stuff on it or something, and it just gets it going.
Okay. Okay.
So it is kind of if they didn't have the tablet, they wouldn't be able to access the computer. It has to be both things together to work. At least that's the way I understand
Makes sense to me.
it. So, like, if they didn't have the tablet, they couldn't just go and get into it. So yeah,
Well, and the data that they want is probably on the tablet, right?
yeah, the data that they want is on the tablet. It's not even in the system. It's just unlocking it or decrypting it. And then, oh yeah, but before they leave, Omega Hunter tries to make Omega stay behind, like he was doing in season 1 and the beginning of season 2.
Yep.
And she's like, no, I need to do this. Actually, that's kind of funny. I just stopped right there. And she says, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's he gives in, and they're all heading off on their thing. Oh yeah, there was another thing that I heard pointed out. I think it was this morning. I forget which. I think it was Crosshair is still wearing the outfit that he stole on the last planet, that or Omega stole for him. Omega's had a change of clothes, I think. I don't know, but Crosshair is still wearing some dirty gear.
Well, no, it was clean when he took it.
Right? And then oh yeah. Omega and Crosshair have a little moment, and Omega's like, do you think I should stay behind Crosshair? And he's like, Hunter wants to protect you, and she points out that she's older than all of them.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice moment.
And she calls
Little
Crosshair
brother.
little brother.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that
Yeah.
was
Because she is an unmodified as far
Yeah.
as age acceleration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was actually born and has achieved this.
Which brings up the old topic, like, are they continuing to age faster, or are they slowing down as they age? Like, are they going to be old men in a couple years, or are they just going to be middle age for a while?
I think the age acceleration is a period of time, because they did show on the Obi-Wan show a clone trooper that was
He looked middle aged,
like
right?
he looked, yeah, but he was like he looked about like what you would expect the aging to be for how old he was, that person was during the Clone Wars.
So they
Like
get him.
I think they just they age them, like the accelerated aging is done while they're children, while they're
Up to-
learning.
up till they're like 20, and then they
they'll probably get them to like 18 to 21, somewhere in there, and then stop the acceleration and let them, just live.
Hey, if they're smart, they can get some like Tamura Morrison as he currently is, and like here's him just what a 63-year-old like one looks like.
Well, that's what Boba Fett is.
Well, yeah,
That's what
that's
that's what Boba Fett
kind of
is.
shockingly, some people were like, "Whoa, Boba's looking rough."
Daniel Logan grows up to look like Boba Fett.
Like I didn't think about like what the timeline on that is, though. It's like he's had a rough 25, 30 years.
Yeah,
because he was like like a 12-year-old or like 11 or 12-year-old, and then 30 years happens. So he's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Hey, he got eaten by a Sarlacc, though.
Yeah, that'll age you real quick.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, who knows how many crazy near miss explosions and crap he's been in. So he's a bounty hunter for most of his life. But back to the show. Crosshair's given back his footlocker containing his old armor. So that's kind of cool. So all the people that were thinking that they saw Crosshair in one of the trailers, they were definitely right. Like with him standing on the bridge of a ship. Some people were like, "Oh no, that's someone else wearing Crosshair's armor." No, it was Crosshair.
He has
so when I saw this shot at first, I'm like, "Wow, look, they're going to Hoth." But of course it's not. But it would have been fun if it was, or Ilum. That would have been fun too.
Looks like there is a restaurant in downtown Disney that has sushi.
Downtown Disney. That's not Disneyland.
Yeah, that's what.
So
thank you. Weird that they don't have it inside.
That's the bowling alley.
Splitsville.
Oh,
is it an expensive bowling alley? Like more than a regular bowling alley?
I would assume so.
I mean, it's Disneyland.
Yeah, there's a premium. I'm just wondering,
right?
Like how premium? It's not inside
premium. But no,
it's
if
like
it's
$100 a game, like that's
if it's a set menu of like a particular thing, that probably keeps it more reasonable because they're not having to make a bunch of things to order. They just like make the entree, make the box or whatever.
Still gouge,
and then they can still gouge. Yeah. There's gonna be some nice markup there for being. Yeah, you're a captive audience.
Yeah, location,
right?
And you're internationally traveling. What are you not gonna buy it?
Right.
It's like you're once in a lifetime trip. You're gonna cheap out on the sushi. He looks good in his armor.
Yeah. Back to the old the old 99 armor. Like he actually doesn't match the rest of the batch because they've all got their new gear.
Yeah,
But,
he's the old school. The skulls remind me of Warhammer.
a little bit.
You know what I found kind of funny? For like Hunter being a guy with a skull tattoo on his face, he's kind of a goody two shoes on letting like people back into the thing.
Is that what that tattoo is?
Yeah, it's a skull. He's got like
You didn't know?
No, I
Yeah.
never put two into. I thought it was just like like Mike Tyson.
No, it's like
It's
a
half his face
skull?
is a skull. Yeah.
That is very surprising.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's perfect for
Dang.
for what he was when he was a soldier. That's intimidating as AF, like
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to look at a picture of Hunter's tattoo. That's crazy.
What do you mean it's crazy?
That's a skull. I never knew that.
There's a
Hunter
lot
tattoo.
of little skulls.
They all
on
have
there.
they all have kind of
Yeah.
skulls too, because here, I mean, look at Wrecker.
Mhm.
He's got a skull
Yeah.
helmet paint job too, and the leader, Crosshair being the leader, I mean Hunter being the leader, that's like he'd be the one who'd have to take off his helmet and talk to an officer, or, like the other ones just keep their helmets on all the time. So he's got to have that skull still to blend in. Like, this is my crew. You see this skull? This is my crew. I don't know.
And then he has a skull on his bandana, or used to, the red bandana. When did he
I don't know.
I wonder what the story is behind that tattoo.
He had it since they introduced him in the Clone Wars.
Wow.
So, but
after he wiped out an entire legion. I mean,
Yeah.
they were fighting droids. So what's okay? Well, I'm not going to think too.
well, I mean, he probably fought also Geonosians. He probably also fought
any of the separatist worlds.
Any of the separatist worlds. So they were,
$30 per player.
Wow.
That, I mean, there's some equivalents. You go to a fancy bowling alley in LA. That's equivalent.
Yeah.
Time limit for the game. Okay. Sorry, got sidetracked by the chat.
Sorry. Yep. Sidetracked in the chat. Yes. So before they land, I forgot to say it. They scanned the planet for life, and there was next to no life forms. Definitely nobody at the base that they're going to.
Because Crosshair killed everybody.
Because Crosshair, well, no, they were evacuating.
They
They were clearing out the base anyway. But this is the base where, like, this is the last location Crosshair was a free clone, or like
an Imperial clone,
not an arrested Imperial clone.
He did wipe out those rebels that were right. Not separatists, but they were kind of they were like a tribe of people fighting against this base. Yeah,
I think so. I'd have to rewatch that episode.
That was his last thing, and then his buddy dies on the way, or gets grievously injured on the way back to the base, and then the officer wouldn't help, and that's
he brings him back, and then they basically like walking away.
They put him out of his misery.
Like, go help him. Like, he comes back and tells him,
like, why? We got plenty of clones. Why would we help this guy?
Exactly.
That is exactly
what put them over the edge.
Basically the same kind of deal that they were Omega saved Batcher from. Oh, this one's broken. Get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just clones are disposable at this point. In fact, the more they get rid of, the better.
But like, he runs on the same logic that Omega does, but he doesn't realize it.
Right.
His is much more narrow though. Like, but they're all in that same space. Like they they stun clone troopers and shoot stormtroopers.
Yeah, stun clones, kill the regs. I mean, stun the regs, kill the enlisted.
Yes.
But so Hunter and Crosshair start bickering a little bit before they actually walk away to start their mission, and Omega kind of scolds him. Scolds Crosshair. She's like, I said, talk to him. Don't argue with him. And Crosshair, he started it. Like,
I mean, they're They would
I mean,
argue
these guys
all the
with
time.
the accelerated aging, these guys are like early 20 somethings at the oldest, maturity wise.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
It's true.
But that's how they do it. So yeah, so this planet is very like the Empire ditched it, but like look at this. They're knee deep in snow walking up to the door. They have to dig to get there. Then they got Batcher starts to help them out and actually can do it way faster than they could.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's one of those things where it's not worth it to have to secure the facility.
right.
Like it's just too much effort. You're already pulled out. You lost literally. You lost control of the base. You lost all your troopers.
Exactly.
Your commander here got shot by a clone.
Right.
Just let it get buried in the snow.
Exactly. It's just
also there's that secondary defense system that we get to. The thing.
Oh yeah. That thing. Yeah. Some of the other people that are reviewing this episode I saw were like, there's a little bit of Dune inspiration on this.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. We totally have a
good timing.
Yeah, it's perfect time. And they got the giant. Yeah, they got the. Well, we'll get to it, but yeah. So they're trying to figure out why the Empire deserted the place, and it's probably mostly because of that thing that's outside. You know, the thing that the sensors were.
Plus, they were getting attacked by the dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but here's a good shot just so you get people could, if they're wondering, Hunter close up, you could see the skull pattern on his face very clearly there. It's like
I thought it was a birthmark for the longest time, to be honest. He was just, he just came out wrong.
He just came out wrong. Yeah, he
was a bad guy. Sure.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense that they would have like weird birth marks or stuff, but not that resembles a skull. So Crosshair kind of wanders off. That shot that of Hunter was him being very suspicious of Crosshair. And
is this after he puts the helmets on the?
No, that's right. That's right before he does that.
That was a nice touch, I thought.
Yeah,
showing respect for the last clones that he served next to.
Well, I mean, he picks up that's the clone, the helmet of the clone that died in his arms.
Dang.
And he just kind of picks their helmets up out of respect, and Hunter sees that and he's like, oh, okay. He's not all bad. He's definitely not up to no good.
They just don't know his story or what happened, why he came back.
Yeah. It's like, why is because Crosshair's being extra quiet, I mean, he's always been quiet, but he's a little extra thing. So
evasive.
He's double quiet.
Right. So they get the power turned off to get the computers to work. And they're plugged in, getting the stuff going. And they got the manifest. So, yeah. And they're all right. There's a rumbling coming from outside because those sensors got turned off. And
they weren't just for the partisans. They were.
Yeah. It wasn't for keep the partisans out. Batcher gets all worried. They're all outside. It's a weird looking bird. Sorry, I'm just like. right?
Yeah,
Isn't that a
kinda
weird
looks
looking
like
bird?
it looks like a phoenix.
Yeah, but like ice instead of fire.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nice phoenix.
Yep.
So-
He kept looking at it.
Yep.
Crosshair knows
So-
something's wrong.
So
So does
Crosshair's
Hunter.
outside. Yeah,
I think it's
Crosshair's
just-
outside being weird.
I think it's just a freedom metaphor. If we're like just being blunt about it.
See that?
Yeah. Maybe. So Hunter's like demanding from Crosshair, what aren't you telling us?
Mhm.
What did you do to piss off the Empire? And so he's building up to it.
I don't know. I don't know why he thought that they would be upset with him for what he did.
Right?
It's like he gets all serious.
Yep.
And I killed an Imperial officer. Like, oh, okay. Is that it?
No, it's his motivations more than anything. Why?
Right.
It's another betrayal, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
But they
another
betrayed-
betrayal.
You just cross everybody because Mr. Crosshair.
Yeah. He's getting all crossed.
More like
Change his name to
Cross
X-Hair.
Yeah.
And he calls out Hunter for being mad that Omega escaped Mount Tantus with Crosshair's help instead of Hunter's help. Looks like Hunter's like gonna hit him, but instead we get giant. Oh wow, I can't show that much. Oh,
Shai Halud.
what the heck was that thing, right? That's very, very Dunish giant worm. But we got an ice worm instead of a sandworm.
Mm-hmm. They forgot to not walk in rhythm.
And we get the line from Wrecker, why is there always a giant monster?
It's true. We haven't had a monster episode in a while, I think. Oh no, we
Well,
had one just the other day with that
there was-
Sarlacc thing.
There was the Sarlacc thing, and then there was also when Omega
the
and
base.
Crosshair. Yep, they're the one that Batcher saved Omega and Crosshair from. That the thing
Yeah,
that killed the.
he's right.
the-
There's always a
that-
giant monster. It is space, so there's a lot of
Yeah.
space for
Wrecker is
monsters.
100% accurate.
So
He's aware of the format.
right,
Mhm.
right. So, I guess it's. So what did we get? We get Wrecker. Wrecker runs off one way to reboot the power so they can turn those sensor things back on to fend off the giant ice worm. Hunter and Crosshair decide to be bait for it so it doesn't attack the base. Hunter falls in a hole and ends up in the tunneling network that this worm has created. And the rest of the episode's kind of like the little chase scene until they get the power turned back on.
Yep.
Right? There's a little bit of dialogue. There's a couple moments where Hunter has to trust Crosshair so that their trust bond is rekindled. And yeah, I'm trying to. There's not really.
That's kind of like the theme of this episode is that,
Yeah,
them working together again.
Yep.
it's building that trust bridge back.
They got to remember that they're a good team, like all of them. And now that like they're down one, they have to pull together.
Yeah,
Also, like I like that Echo was there because he was like the mediating influence.
right. Well, he was doing what Tech normally would have been doing.
Mhm. Well, Tech would have been like much more like just lay it out like rational.
Right.
He would have been like utilitarian about it.
So there's Wrecker. I didn't do it quick enough. Wrecker's like priming the power generator like we were in Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm. Until the red light is all the way lit.
Yeah, until the red
thought that
light's
was funny.
already lit. Yeah.
I was like, so he's pumping up some plasma?
Right.
What kind of device
Steam
turns
power.
the mechanical motion of turning a handle into like the
It's
whatever?
it's a spring coil,
Mhm.
one of those winding coils,
Yeah.
mechanical force.
Good old winding coils.
Mhm.
They should have brought a gong droid with them.
Who?
Yeah, you could carry it.
Wrecker?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they even bring Gonki? They didn't show Gonki at all this episode.
He's on the ship. They would have had to go all the way back to the ship. It would have been.
And they couldn't. The entire point was that there was complications with getting back to the ship.
Because the ship kind of sank a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have to dig it out. And the only way to dig it out is to get rid of that monster so they can do that.
Priority number one, get rid of the monster.
Without getting eaten.
Which they are the ones who turned off the thing and kept the monster out immediately. So, yeah.
Yes. Where are we at now?
I've been kind of skipping forward. So they're like running from the monster towards the sensor.
Shai Hulud.
Gesundheit. So it just,
they should have tried to ride it.
Right?
That would have been a little too on the nose, I think.
Thatcher looks pretty happy.
Yep. Thatcher's not going to survive this season.
I don't know.
I don't know why I feel that way.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be just Omega and Batcher riding off into the sunset.
I think he has a better chance than the rest of them. Yeah.
Yeah. He does. He does have a better chance than the rest of them. Good old. Yeah. What is that? I don't know. What am I doing here? So yeah. So they don't know that they got on the tablet. They got some manifest information, but no exact coordinates for Tantus.
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing, but I guess it would have been too easy.
It would have been too easy, but it's also like it's episode 5 of.
Do we know what the next episode's called?
No, we don't know what the episode's called, but they are showing episodes 6 and 7 back to back next week.
Oh, it's a double.
So it's a double header next week. So that should be pretty fun.
Maybe we'll see Ventress.
I thought maybe we'll see Ventress at the end of the episode.
End of next.
I thought this was kind of funny. They got this shot, and there's Wrecker with a shovel. It's like Wrecker did that. Wrecker dug that. Yeah. Oh, Crosshair's got a shovel too, but still, it's like
maybe they just dug like a tunnel to the door, then went inside, turned the shields on, and melted all the,
Maybe do shields radiate heat?
Maybe there was a mode. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to de-ice the ship. It's in the atmosphere. It's like an airplane. Get that ice off. Just turn on the defrost. It's next to the steering wheel.
And there's Crosshair opening up to Hunter just a little bit more.
I hate to be a giant nerd though, but if you're in a spaceship, your spaceship's probably going to be hot or warm no matter what, like the surface of it. Just because the nature of it being a spaceship, it goes into a thing that has no like atmosphere, so there's nothing to wick the thing up. There's only one way of wicking heat in space, and that's radiation, and that's not the most efficient. Yeah. Surface area.
Right. So we would need something to cool it down, not heat it up.
All you'd have to do is like turn off your cooling systems basically, and your ship's like gonna get real hot.
Yeah, I'm sure it has very advanced cooling systems.
Yeah. That's too much. That's too nerdy there. But yeah. So when I gotta be honest, when I first watched the episode last night, I was like, oh, filler. I mean,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
mostly about getting them to trust each other again, or at least
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
the conversation.
it was, bridging Hunter and Crosshair's thing. I kind of feel like they should have actually aired episodes 3 and 4 together. I mean,
Mhm.
4 and 5 together. It would have been a little bit better flow.
Well,
Yeah,
then,
but at the beginning of the season, didn't you say that you wish they were just all one a week?
I don't. Here's the thing:
Spaced out?
they did 3, 1,
Mhm.
1, 2.
Mhm.
Why not just do 2?
Just
2, 2, 2, 2.
3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Like there's there.
Yeah,
It's.
I mean,
I just
these
think
single episodes
it
are short.
the premiere episodes 1, 2, and 3 felt good because it was Omega Crosshair, Hunter Wrecker, Omega Crosshair,
Mhm.
right? And then we get an Omega Crosshair, and then we get the full Bad Batch. Like the premiere was fine with the 3
Mhm.
because if you just did the 2 Omega and Crosshair episodes together, that would have been pretty.
Like, what's going on with the Bad Batch?
It would have been kind of boring, and
I heard
touch, and it
somebody
didn't.
said that episode 2 was actually episode 3, and then the Lucasfilm decided, oh, we got to show 2.
Yeah,
Show
I can totally see that.
See what I
I can
mean
totally
about
see
that?
that. And that
because
and that,
it's a Bad Batch, but you didn't have the Bad Batch in the first 2 episodes. Like, what's going on? So
right. Well, I mean, they had 2 members of the Bad Batch.
yeah,
Well, I mean, technically only one because Omega.
I would have been okay the other way, but
and-
I see why they did this way.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I liked the 3 episode premiere because of the different flavors sandwich.
Mhm.
And then, I kind of felt like at the end of last week's episode, like Omega and Crosshair meeting up with Hunter and Wrecker at the end of the episode. It seemed kind of, I don't know, rushed in a sense.
Like, they should have just jumped into hyperspace and then handled that later.
Like, I mean, I would have been a little bit more happier with like the cold open for episode 5 be that reunion. And then like end episode 4 with, oh, I sent out a signal and we're gonna
that's where I thought it was gonna end.
Go to credits. And then
when she said, I know a place that we can meet safely. I thought that's what that was gonna end.
And and then they showed the meetup. That
maybe the executives were like, no, we gotta have a happy ending.
Right. Because we got to show the whole Bad Batch because it was the only episode airing that day. But they could have cut the episodes different if they were both airing on the same night. Is what I'm saying.
I get it.
And then, this episode would have been a little bit longer and the other episode might have been a little bit shorter. I mean, depending on what they ended up cutting out, because there's always a cutting room floor, even for animation. But just the fact that it was 3 and then 1 and now we're getting 2 next week, it just seems weird. I don't
You gotta talk to your contacts.
Give me at least an hour of content a week. I don't want a half hour content. I want an hour.
On the bright side, it does stretch out the season a little more. Maybe that's what it comes down to. They have a schedule to fill, and they just fill it.
Then why put any of them multiples on one night? If they want to just have people, if they just want to stretch it so they keep their subscribers committed as long as possible, they should just show 1 a week. They shouldn't be.
They do it where they can. Like the 3 at the beginning, they had to, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, they were probably planning on only showing 2. I wonder what else got shifted around. But, we're gonna get the double episode next week. Hopefully, we'll get maybe some Massage Ventress at the end of it.
Is there any names? I
knows?
think I already asked you for the double episode.
Like the episode names.
Yeah.
I don't
think there was-
I don't
there was a
know off the top of
Wikipedia.
my head. Yeah.
3 episode names. I'll look it up while you're wrapping things up.
Yeah, I mean it's
Let's see. Is this from the
so the next episode is called Infiltration.
Ooh.
I don't see
Infiltration and then Extraction.
right.
Interesting. What could they be infiltrating and who's getting extraction?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because here's on
I bet you it's a heist episode.
right?
Yeah, I mean in a
Or
way,
pair.
yeah, for sure.
So that's Wikipedia's. Oh man, I don't know why that.
Now I'm reading them all.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
it's just titles. It's just titles.
No, I
No,
know.
there's
yeah.
too much to tell from titles.
Well, I killed it. It's gone now. So if you didn't see it, you missed it. Rewind and pause. But yeah, so we're gonna get, a bunch of single episodes, and yeah, so, but yeah, I felt like it was a filler episode. It would have been better if it was paired with the second episode, so it wasn't as much of a filler punch.
I mean, we're in a season like this, we're bound to get something.
Oh yeah, every season's gonna. But even the episodes that feel like a filler, like the episode that had the Devornian characters, the ones with the devil horns, like that. I think that was season 1. That seemed like a filler episode, or was that season? Yeah, and that character, resurfaced a couple episodes ago. So you never know. But I don't think we're going to be going back to this ice planet ever again. It's too dangerous. I mean, unless they want to make it their base, since it's fairly safe and remote. It's not as nice as Pabu, and there's no sushi there, but
that's the deal breaker.
Yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me. It's like, no, I got all the food's on Pabu. What are we gonna eat here? That bird and that worm? No thanks.
All that ice, and all that snow.
Worm burgers.
Worm.
Worm burger.
No. And to drink the bile of the of a baby worm. See the future. Oh wait, wrong movie. But yeah, so hopefully next week we get a banger of a double episode. I think, unless you guys can think of something else to talk about, I think that's probably about where we're at. We're hate that sound effect. That's the worst. That's the worst Darth Vader quote ever.
That's why I'm keeping that one.
I just like.
I'm gonna try. I ran out of time this week.
When I saw episode 3 in the theater, and that was the last thing that Darth Vader said.
It was. I know.
It was
like it was such a high note, and then you're like, "What?"
Yeah. What just happened?
It's a pure Lucas decision.
Like he shouldn't have said any. Like if he just had the hand gestures and just
go the Vader scream.
When he gets
knocked off the platform when he gets knocked off the platform in Cloud City. That's like the pissed off Vader. That's
no
fine.
word, just a groan, not a word.
They at least moved the Luke scream in Empire. If you recall, there was a scream, or not. I mean, in when he jumps off the
Yeah, when he falls
Cloud
down the
City
shaft
before.
at Cloud City. Yeah.
Yeah, they took that out, and like I'm glad they backpedaled on that because that one was just awful. Decisions were made. Decisions were
Mhm.
made.
Yeah.
But then no, Lucas is like, nope, I want that in
No,
there
that-
because
that
he's
no-
basing his reality. He's basically created his own
should-
hell.
Yeah, he created his own hell. Exactly.
But I remember people like giggling at the very end of like a great movie. Like episode 3 is the best one, and yeah, just a
Out of the prequels, maybe.
out of the prequels, 3 is heads and shoulders above the rest, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I would say then the first one, Phantom Menace, is
3, 1,
second,
2?
and then 2, yeah, 2 is the weakest of the
3, 3, 1, 2. Yeah.
2. 1 and 2 could have been combined. A lot of people say that, and there's like a super cut.
1 and 2.
Less
should have
Annie,
been-
less Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Topher Grace.
1 and 2.
Topher Grace cut together the one that cuts up like.
Oh, really?
Is episode 1 and episode 2 into like.
Well, the
Like,
worst. The worst
You know what it
Venom
opens-
ever. It's like, is it the worst Venom ever cut?
You know what it starts at though?
Hmm.
Qui-Gon fighting Maul.
It
starts there.
Okay.
It starts at like them running like through the shield, basically.
Mhm.
We don't need
that would
any
be
of the other
interesting to
stuff
start.
before it.
Yeah, to start there would have been interesting. Like, oh
There's
man,
no,
you're
like,
right into a battle.
Oh no, the Jedi are here. There's none of the politics before it. Which is great.
If you watch Phantom Menace, you'll decide for yourself
Mm-hmm.
whether
You'll
you
see.
like Jar Jar or not.
The mood is
It's,
different though. The mood is different now.
You say people
than when
gonna
it came out.
die? Yeah, there was a lot of talk of racism in that movie too, because a lot of the
he
aliens
said
had
Misa?
accents instead of subtitles. They have accents. For example, in Dune Part 2, different franchise.
They have
You
a
notice how many
patois.
subtitles were. There's no like.
Yeah.
There are accents in it, but like they have like
What
actual
about-
alien languages where they subtitle instead of like.
What was the
doing,
name
like,
of the boss of the Gungans?
Now there are 2 of them.
Boss Nass.
Oh, I'm gonna add that to the sound effects next time.
Yeah.
Next time. I'm gonna get some samples from the prequels. There I go.
The way they acted, all goofy and the accents.
Yeah.
that was what the problem was.
It's not just Jar Jar. It's
There's other things too. Like, remember how that one takes out the tank? Like he kicks
Yeah. It's
the
bumbling, kind of silly. Now, Lucas was trying to make a movie for kids. Like he was very focused. I mean, because you saw Jedi was trending towards kids.
He was
leaned
trying
into
to
that
make
even more.
Yeah, he was specifically trying to make a new generation's.
And he
children
did. A lot of people
memories.
who are younger than us have very fond memories and
They
nostalgia.
just straight up love it. Yeah, and ironically,
So,
we
I can't
love
hate on it that
ironically
much.
with an
It's just a
ironic
personal
attachment of
preference.
like making fun of this movie.
He could have toned it down a
Or
little bit, in
series.
my opinion, but the kids like it.
the guys over on the Resistance broadcast
Uh-huh.
like to say that there are people who grew up with this sequel trilogy, and that's going to be their Star Wars that they love when they're our age, and I just think that's madness.
The luckiest ones are the ones who grew up with the Clone Wars, because there's a generation of them too.
The luckiest ones are the ones who grow up after all this, and they just get to watch all of it until they don't they start at the beginning.
If Star Wars
They'll
exists,
stop. They'll stop watching around Ahsoka season 3, and they'll never get to the sequel trilogy. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say that earlier. They did. They have definitely said that they're working on Ahsoka season 2. That is definitely.
All right.
No, they did.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be disappointing if they didn't.
Yeah.
We're sorely disappointed.
They have to. They haven't said that what they're going to do with Balin, but yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah,
fun.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
They'll
It's
figure it
gonna be a recast, I'm sure.
But yeah,
I got to jam out, guys.
all right. Yeah, we're all going to jam out. So if you made it this far on the video, please like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Tell your friends.
Stock Lobo at Disneyland.
Tell
Yeah,
your friends.
Disneyland, May 2nd. I'll be there. Star Wars night.
Oh, speaking of
It'll
May
be
2nd, is
fun.
there going to be like anything special happening May 4th
They
this
haven't.
year?
They have not announced
trailer.
anything about May 4th this year yet. So,
Okay.
but
Hmm.
we've been going for an hour 10. So may the force be with you.